Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all traveling well. Don't need anything for your practice this morning, just yourself and your mat, perhaps a blanket. And I thought we might start off lying down this morning, but of course, if you would prefer to stay seated, then that's fine. So just take these first few moments to arrive, to gather yourself, and if you would like to lie down, perhaps with a blanket over you, might like to remove any glasses, and just beginning this morning by taking a few slow breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. I was on the train yesterday afternoon coming home from the city, and opposite me were three boys. I think they looked like they were about 13 or 14 from a private school uniform. And they were just chatting away. They were on their phones, and all of a sudden one of them said to the others, who will take 3 deep breaths with me? And they just stopped what they were doing. And I sort of looked at them and smiled, and they did that. They just stopped and inhaled and then exhaled 3 slow breaths. And I sort of thought how wonderful. And it made me reflect back on being that age myself. And I certainly don't think we were ever taught that or shown that simple practice, and how just 3 slow, deep breaths can actually alter how we're feeling and what's going on. And just to take that little time out of our lives to pause and let everything slow down. So I had a moment of feeling really happy to see, the youth of today and actually choosing to do that themselves. It's not as though an older person, an adult, was saying to do that. They were actually choosing to do that themselves. So you might also like to, as you're lying there or sitting there, just tense the body as tightly as you can as you breathe in. Hold that tension and then let all of that tension go. And let's do this twice more. Breathing in, bringing as much tension into the body, the face, and then let all of that tension go. And once more, deep breath in, squeezing the body tight, and letting all of that tension go. And just allowing yourself this time now to be still. Just total stillness, total rest. When we practice Shavasana at the beginning of the session, it's a way of releasing tension, releasing the events of our morning, the past, so that we can bring our full attention to the present moment, to the here and now. Hopefully, while we rest in the pose, we're also able to connect with a feeling of peace, so that our practice comes from a centered place. Then when we begin to move, our actions are more conscious and integrated. Swami Karuna Karma says that when Shavasana comes first, our practice moves from being just a physical exercise to a meditative process with a quality of deep relaxation and presence. So now in this quiet space, notice what's going on in your body, any physical sensations in your body. Be aware of any feelings. And notice what's going on in your mind. Watch your mind without attaching a judgment to what you observe. Going to work with some beautiful words from Thich Nhat Hanh this morning. So just exhaling all breath, emptying the lungs. And on your next inhalation, saying to yourself the word in. And as you exhale the word out. Breathing in the word deep. And breathing out the word slow. Inhaling calm. And exhaling ease. Breathing in, the word is smile. And breathing out, release. Inhale, present moment. Exhale, wonderful moment. Let's work with that once more. Inhale, the word is in. Out. Deep. Slow. Calm. Ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. Now release this practice. You might like to sigh the breath away. So I'm going to come back to meet you on my mat. Now, if you have stayed in a seated position, I'll invite you now to come to lie down, and we might step the feet up close to the buttocks. If you can keep any coverings over you, blankets, if you're feeling a little bit cold, just free your arms out to the side. Make sure that your head, neck and spine are in a straight line, tucking the chin forward. And I thought we might also this morning work with a beautiful pranayama practice, Viloma pranayama. Viloma can be translated as interrupted or in parts, in stages. So this is the breath where we interrupt. First of all, this morning we're going to interrupt the exhalations, and then we'll have a go at interrupting the inhalations. And we're going to just see if we can feel the effects, the impact of each of these practices. They have quite different effects. So I'd like you to really tune into how each of the interruptions affects you this morning, and to also think about which one you feel you need more today. Might be different tomorrow, might have been different yesterday, but what do you most need this morning? Interrupting the exhalations or interrupting the inhalations? What's going to support you best today? All right, so our arms are down by our sides. So firstly, we're interrupting the exhalations in 2 parts. So we in a moment, we're going to just have a normal inhale, and then we'll exhale about 50% of the way, we'll pause, and then exhale, completely emptying the lungs. And then again, a normal inhale. So let's just exhale all breath to begin. So a normal inhalation, just let the breath flow in smoothly, filling the lungs. And then exhale 50% of the way, pause, and another 50% of the way, and pause. So exhaling through the nose. Inhale, long, smooth inhalation, filling the lungs. Exhale 50% of the way, a little pause. Exhale all the way, pausing empty, and continue. So long, smooth inhalation. Exhale 50% of the way, pause. And completely emptying the lungs. Pause, empty. So let's continue. We'll work with this for another minute or so. So a normal, uninterrupted inhalation. Exhale 50% of the way. Pause. And completely emptying the lungs. Pause, empty. Keep going. Make sure you're not tensing the shoulders, the arms, the skin of the face, the mouth is relaxed. Allowing the breath to flow in on the inhale. And interrupting the exhalation as you breathe out. All right, let's change this a little bit now. As we exhale, we're going to try interrupting the exhalation in 3 parts. So long, smooth inhalation. And then exhale about 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Exhale, completely emptying the lungs. Pause, empty. Breathing in, completely filling the lungs. Exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely emptying the lungs, pause, empty. Good, let's continue. Another minute or so. All right, so just after the next exhale, just pause for a moment. So we're still interrupting the exhalations. We're going to add an arm movement. I'd like you to choose whether you want to exhale in 2 parts or 3 parts, whatever feels most appropriate for you this morning. And if you're not sure how to incorporate the arms, you can watch. I'm going to interrupt the exhalation in 3 parts, but you can just do 2 if that's best for you. So we'll exhale all breath. On the inhale, we take the arms all the way up overhead as we breathe in. And then we exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely emptying the lungs, and the arms come down by your side, pause, empty. So long, smooth inhalation. Press the lower back down, tuck the chin forward. Exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. All the way, pause, empty. Let's do a few more of these. Inhale. Exhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. All the way. 2 more. When you finish, just rest there. You might like to sigh the breath away once or twice. Just checking in with how you're feeling and how that practice affected you. So now we're going to try working with the opposite practice where we interrupt the inhalations and have a normal exhale. So first of all, we'll interrupt the inhale in 2 parts, then 3, and then we'll incorporate the arms. And you can choose whether you interrupt 2 times or 3 times. So just have your arms down by your side, exhale all breath. And then breathing in 50% of the way, little pause. Inhale the remaining 50% of the way, pausing full. And then a normal, uninterrupted exhalation. Breathing in 50% of the way, pause. Another 50% of the way, pause. And a normal, uninterrupted exhalation. All right, continue in your own time now for another minute or so. Breathing in 50% of the way. And the other 50%. And exhale. Keep going. And make sure you're not tensing any part of the body. Let the shoulders, the upper back relax, the face, the mouth. 2 more breaths in this way. All right, so when you're ready, no rush, we're going to try interrupting the inhale in 3 parts now. So exhale all breath, and then breathing in 30% of the way, pause. Inhale another 30% of the way, pause. Inhale the remaining percentage and pause full. And then a long, smooth, uninterrupted exhalation. Inhale 30% of the way, pause. Another 30%, pause. All the way. And exhaling. Let's continue another minute or so. Two more breaths in this way. And then releasing when you finish, no hurry. So finally, incorporating the arms with this movement. So choosing whether you want to interrupt the inhale in 2 parts or 3 parts. Your arms are down alongside you. Exhale all breath. And then breathing in, you choose whether it's 2 or 3. Inhale, I'm doing 3. Inhale, completely filling the lungs, pausing full. And then a long, smooth, uninterrupted exhalation. So do 4 more of these in your own time. So you've got 1 more. When you finish, you might like to sigh the breath away. And just noticing the effects of this practice of interrupting the inhalations. So when you finish, no hurry. We're going to draw the knees in towards the chest, wrap the hands around the knees, cross the legs at the ankles, and making some little circles now on the floor with our lower back. Just taking these few moments to think about which of those practices you feel is most appropriate for you this morning, or which will be most supportive for you today, either interrupting the exhalations or interrupting the inhalations. And as we continue to work with certain practices, I'm going to give the opportunity to work to incorporate Viloma with either an interrupted inhale or exhale. So we might all be doing different things, but that's absolutely fine. All right, let's cross the legs the other way and circling in the opposite direction. Good, and then we'll gently roll over to one side. We're going to come up into a seated position. So feel free to sit up onto some support, and you might be kneeling, you might be even sitting in a chair, cross-legged, legs stretched out. Let's bring the palms of the hands together. We're going to rub the palms until they feel nice and warm. We're going to work with our self-holding practice, which is a beautiful, calming practice. It's used for PTSD. It's really good if we're feeling anxious or upset, just to calm us down. A beautiful self-soothing practice. So if you don't know this, if you haven't done this with me before, you can just follow along. So we're going to place the hands in 5 different positions. This is the first position, and let's come back to the words of Thich Nhat Hanh. So as we breathe in, we can say to ourselves the word in and out. One more breath in and out. Now we're changing the hands, one hand to the forehead, the other hand to the back of the head. So 2 breaths, inhale deep and slow. Deep slow. Dropping the hand that's on the back of the head to your heart. Calm. Ease. Calm. Ease. Hand that's on the forehead to the belly. Smile. Release. Smile. Release. And then the hands on the heart to the back of the head once again. Present moment. Wonderful moment. Present moment. Wonderful moment. Releasing the hands down. So now either sitting cross-legged or the legs in a diamond shape. Now we're going to work with our beautiful wheeling the body practice. Eyes can be open or closed as we circle the upper body in a beautiful slow movement. Again, this is another very self-soothing, very calming practice. Good to do if you've been feeling a little unsettled lately, agitated, upset, frustrated. Just a beautiful way to take good care of ourselves. Now if your legs are crossed, change the cross of the legs. And we start to circle in the opposite direction. Perhaps turning the sides of the mouth up slightly. A gentle smile on your lips, softening the forehead. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed and soft. And gently come back to center. Let's fold forward. And I'd like to blow the breath out through the mouth. And slowly come up. All right, let's just bring the legs around in front now. We're going to work with a nice, slow, flowing twist. So feet are hip distance apart, hands are behind. We try to keep the chest moving forward rather than sort of letting this happen where we're rounding the back and the shoulders are coming forward. So try to draw the shoulders back. And we'll take a deep breath in. As we exhale, knees flow over to one side, head turns the opposite way to look over the shoulder. And then we breathe ourselves back to center, and knees go the opposite direction, head to the opposite side. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then the knees flow over to one side, looking over the shoulder. Let's hold this for 3 breaths. And then coming back to center, deep breath in. And knees flowing the opposite way, 3 breaths. And back to center. Good. Let's release the hands for a moment, and you might like to make a few slow circles with your wrists. And reversing. Good. Okay. So we're going to take the hands back behind us, and fingers are turned away, and working now with table in a dynamic way. So lifting up as we inhale, lowering down as we exhale. If this is a little bit strong, you might like to lie down and work with bridge instead, or you could even just straighten the legs and work with this is still a back bend like this, so we're moving the chest forward, squeezing the shoulder blades together, feet are flat. So you might just stay here and tilt the head a little bit and breathe, but otherwise working with table. And we're going to incorporate Viloma. So think again about whether you want to interrupt the inhales or interrupt the exhales, and whether you want to break it into 2 or 3. I'm going to interrupt the inhales this morning, so you might be following along with me, you may not, and I'm going to break it into 3 parts. So if you're not sure how to work with this, you can watch the first one and then join in. So you might be doing bridge, you might be just like this and just interrupting the inhales this way, or coming along with me for table. So let's exhale all breath. And then we breathe in, so it might be 30% of the way, if you're coming along with me. Another 30% of the way, completely filling the lungs, pausing full, and then a long, smooth, uninterrupted exhalation, unless you're doing the opposite to me. So breathing in, perhaps 30% of the way, another 30% of the way, completely filling the lungs, pause full, and a long, smooth, uninterrupted exhalation. So let's do 5 more without my voice, in case you're doing the opposite to me. This is my last one, perhaps it's yours also. If you're going a bit slower than me, that's fine, no hurry. When you do finish, you might again like to come into a diamond shape with your legs and stretch forward. And let's come back to Thich Nhat Hanh's words. So as you breathe in, the word is in, out. Deep, slow. Calm. Ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. And slowly come up. We're going to swing our legs around and come into extended child. Arms are forward, big toes are touching, knees are wide. Sending the breath now into the back of the body. And you might work with a lateral stretch this morning. So just lift the head up, walk the hands over to the left. So a couple of different ways we can work with this. You can keep the hands shoulder width apart. For a stronger stretch, you might press the right palm on top of the left hand, or we can even, with the right hand, hold the left upper arm and rest our forehead on that right forearm. We're breathing into that right side of the torso, trying to keep the shoulders square. Good, and then walk the hands back to center and around to the right side. So again, they may be shoulder width apart, left palm on top of right hand, or left hand holding your upper arm and your forehead resting on that left forearm. Shoulders are square, directing the breath now into that left side of the torso. And back to center. From here, we're going to work with our hippie cat, so making some imaginary circles in the air with our hips. So you can either keep the arms straight like this, or if you want to work a little bit differently this morning, we can come onto our forearms, interlacing our fingers like this. And then we're going to come around to one side as we inhale, and as we exhale, around to the other side. So around to one side, coming forward, and around to the other side. Good, so just in your own time. Good, and then we'll reverse directions. One more. And back into child. All right, so now we're going to work with cat, a flowing sequence. And again, let's come back to Viloma. So you're going to be either interrupting the inhales or the exhales in 2 or 3 parts. Again, I'm interrupting the inhale in 3 parts. You might be doing the opposite. That's absolutely fine. So I'll talk you through a couple and then we'll be in silence. So I'm not confusing you if you're doing the opposite to me. So we start off in extended child. Exhale all breath. And then breathing in 30% of the way, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Inhale, completely filling the lungs, pause full. And then a long, smooth, uninterrupted exhalation. Inhale 30% of the way. Another 30. Completely filling the lungs. Exhale, rounding the back. Good. Let's do 5 more in silence. Perhaps one more. Take a breath or two when you finish. Now we'll drop Viloma and we're going to work from extended child through into a low cobra and then back into child. So looking along the mat, staying down low as you inhale, sliding along, squeeze the elbows in, bend the legs and push back. Inhale. Exhale. Let's try up to 5 more. And you've had enough. Just slide your fingers back towards your knees, come up, perhaps making a few slow circles with your shoulders. All right, so now we're going to work through some kneeling salutes, incorporating Thich Nhat Hanh's words as we go along. So you're either in a low kneel or a high kneel, whatever feels most appropriate for you. Nice, tall, straight spine. Let's exhale all breath. So breathing in, the word is in. And as we exhale, the word is out. Inhale, cat, the word is deep. Tuck the toes and slow. Inhale, calm and ease. Coming through into a low cobra, the word is smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. Let's do 2 more of these, then we're going to change it. Inhale. And exhale, the word is out. Deep. Slow. Calm. Ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful. In. Deep. Slow. ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. Just take a breath or two here. You might sigh the breath away. So we're going to drop the words now and work with 2 more sequences and just add a couple of extra poses. So let's breathe in. Cat and dog. Back to cat and child. Through into cobra. Oops, forgot to add the pose. Come up. And exhale. Okay, 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Cat, tuck your toes into dog. Down into cat. And child. Okay, so from here, come to lie down onto your tummies, palms together, and take a resting breath. Arms and legs wide apart. Inhale, lift. And lower. Hands back alongside your chest, elbows tucked in. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now come up. And exhale. Okay, so 1 more. Going to lie down onto your tummies, palms together, take a breath. Arms and legs wide, and lift. Hands alongside your chest, inhale. Push back. Take a breath or 2. And release. So a couple of options, either have a little resting child pose, or I thought we'd have a go at working with low plank. So if you'd like to come along with me, we interlace the fingers, the elbows are shoulder width apart, and toes are tucked under as we hold this position. If you'd like to go a little bit further, you can try crossing one ankle over the other. Have a couple of breaths there. And then swap it over. Good. Perhaps a couple more breaths here. And then bend the knees. And let's all meet back in child pose. Let's extend the arms forward. Inhale, come up onto your knees, tuck your toes into down face dog pose. Fingers and toes spread wide, relaxing your head and your neck. And breathe. Now from here, we're going to look towards our hands and step the right foot between the hands and slowly and carefully come up. All right, so working with a variation of warrior 1. So we're on the ball of that left foot, our hips are square, the legs are straight, the arms are down by our side just for a moment. So we're going to take the arms up above the head And we're going to bend the right leg as we swing one arm forward, the other arm back. So bend the front leg, one arm forward, the other arm back. One arm forward, the other arm back. Couple more. Good. And then just drop the hands. Step the back foot forward. Take the other leg back. So you're on the ball of the back foot. The hips are square. Arms down for a moment. Find your balance. And then we'll take the arms up. So this time we bend the front leg and we bring the opposite arm forward. Opposite arm forward. Opposite arm forward. Two more. Good. And drop the hands. Step that back foot forward. And we're coming into Tadasana. Take a couple of cleansing breaths here. Drop the shoulders, soften the face. And just notice what's going on inside without judgment. So let's come back to Viloma, interrupting either the inhale or exhale. And we'll work with this for a minute or so with an arm movement. So again, I'm interrupting the inhale in 3 parts. You might be doing the opposite. So I'll just work through 2 and then we'll do the rest in silence. So I'm not confusing you. So let's exhale all breath. As we breathe in, perhaps 30% of the way, the arms move out to the side, pause. Another 30% of the way, pause. Completely filling the lungs as the palms come to touch, pausing full. And then a long, smooth, uninterrupted exhalation. So breathe in 30% of the way, pause. Another 30, pause. Completely filling the lungs, pause full. And a slow, uninterrupted exhalation. Let's do 5 more. Finish the last one. Just stay in Tadasana. You might sigh the breath away, noticing the effects of the practice. All right, let's work with a couple of Thich Nhat Hanh's mindful movements. First one being his Warrior One variation. So take the legs a little bit wider apart, turning the left toes out, left hand on the thigh, right hand on the back thigh, and then we turn to the left. So we'll also incorporate Thich Nhat Hanh's words to this. So let's exhale all breath. As we breathe in, we bend that front leg and we raise the left arm up. So the first word is in and out. So we've got 4 more of these. Deep. Slow. Calm. Ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. Turn the legs around. So we do the same the other direction. Exhale all breath. Breathing in, the word is in. Out. 4 more. Deep. Slow. Calm. Ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. One. Come back into Tadasana. And take a breath or two. Hands onto the hips. We're doing Thich Nhat Hanh's mindful balance now. The feet a little bit closer together, taking the weight into the left foot to begin, lengthening up through the crown top as we inhale and raise that right leg up. On the exhalation, seeing if we can straighten that leg. Inhale, bend it back in, and exhale, we lower. Other side. So let's do 4 more to each side. Synchronizing the movement with your breath. 1 more to each side. Our last one. Again, coming back into Tadasana, taking a breath or two here. All right, 1 more standing pose. I'm going to take the legs wide apart, a little bit pigeon-toed as we come into a forward fold. So you can either have the hands on the buttocks and slide the hands down the backs of the legs, or interlace your fingers. And as you come forward, the arms lift up and over the head. So let's take a deep breath into the heart. And then exhale, so you can come down with a flat back. Legs can be bent or straight as you come forward. Couple more breaths here. And then slowly coming up. I'd like to take the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale. Release the legs, might give them a bit of a shake. So we're going to come down to sit. Again, you might be sitting up onto some support, legs stretched out in front, and we're going to work with a twist and then go into a forward fold. So feet are flexed, arms are out to the side. As we breathe in, we'll raise the right arm up, lengthening up. As we exhale, we're tucking that hand under the left thigh. And then we turn to the left, breathing in, raise the left arm to shoulder height. And as we exhale, we take it behind us onto the floor or wrapping it around the waist, reaching for our right thigh. So head moves last in the twists. So a deep breath in. And then we're turning to look over that left shoulder. And breathe. Good, and then slowly come back to center. Let's work the other way. Inhale. And exhale, tucking the hand under the right thigh, turning to the right. Inhale. And exhale, hand onto the floor or wrapping that arm around your back, reaching for your left thigh. Breathing in and then turning to look over the right shoulder. Feet are flexed. Nice, tall, long spine. Good, slowly come back to center. Now inhale, raise the arms up. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, stretch the arms up, palms together, and exhale. Good. Let's rub the palms. We're going back into our self-holding practice. So you can kick the legs as they are, or you can change your seated position. Hands to the sides of the head. So as we breathe in, the word is in, out, in, change, deep, slow, deep, slow, hand to the heart, calm, ease, calm, ease, and to the belly, smile, release, smile, release, back of the head, present moment, wonderful moment, present moment, wonderful. Release the hands and come to lie down now for Shavasana. Taking a few slow, quiet breaths. Might like to tense the body as tightly as you can as you breathe in. And then let all of that tension go as you exhale. 2 more times. When we practice this pose, Shavasana, at the end of our sessions, it's a very important and precious time when the effects of the practices can soak in. So just give yourself permission now to rest. Begin to release the weight of your bones into the earth. And feel the support of the earth beneath you. Shavasana is essentially about undoing and simply being. Enjoy this time of deep rest, deep quiet, deep peace. Time to simply be present, be here. So feel free to stay as you are if you're happy here and you have the time. Otherwise, start now to deepen the breath and bring a little bit of movement into your fingers and toes, listening to sounds around you, noticing how many different sounds there are. Might like to stretch the arms up overhead. Just have a lovely stretch. And release and roll over to one side and slowly make your way up into a comfortable seated position. We'll close our practice this morning with one Om. So if you'd like to join with me, bring your hands together at the heart. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Namaste. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Lots of love.